Hi again. Welcome back. We are at the second day of the International and European Associations Congress. We're in Liverpool. If you tune in for the first time, we are here at the waterfront. You cannot see the waterfront, but we're in a very nice location. It's called the ACC Liverpool, and we are here with 350 participants. Enjoying 2 full days of conferences, workshops, and of course the online program with the live stream and loads of interactions through Twitter, LinkedIn and the Google Hangout. We are very glad you're joining today, and to add this extra layer to the live things happening here in Liverpool. I'd like to introduce you to my first guest of today, which is Elling Hamsel.
Hello, Gerdy.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
Look nice and fresh this morning.
Oh yes, I am actually.
You were still on the dance floor when I left the party.
That was not part of the script.
I was late for being there. All right. So anyway, you look lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Bart, we invited you to catch up with yesterday's program. We are streaming the plenary sessions and the conference and event stream, which you were chairing actually.
That's right, yeah.
So can you please give us an update of yesterday's program?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if everybody watched the stream all day.
Not everybody.
We started off with this keynote. I only caught about 10 minutes of that, and then I left the room, but not because I didn't like the keynote.
Okay.
But I had other things to do.
But the keynote was quite a paradox, actually.
Yeah, it was good and it was provocative.
Yeah.
And of course it touches on what's the buzz.
Yeah.
Do we now have to be online all the time? Are we being watched all the time? Are we losing our privacy? Can we not communicate as human beings anymore? And is there a danger in this development? And of course, it's appropriate to ask that question.
Sure.
And it's very relevant for the discussion in a place like this.
Yeah.
In fact, there was someone in the Leadership Summit yesterday who brought up the issue saying, we're overdoing the digital communication. We've got to bring back paper. So there are people who seriously think that's what needs doing at the present time.
Okay.
Well, we've got to be aware, Gerdy, that we do to some extent, you and me and the people we know, we live in a little bit of a bubble. We're sort of a bit geeky. Mm-hmm. If you take the average association manager, in his middle age, they don't tweet. No. They may be on LinkedIn. That's about it.
True. And that's the first question actually I have for you, because we are at the Associations Congress, and the conference and event stream is quite a heavy one. Yeah. There's a lot
Always
of focus on the conference and event stream. And we know people watching the live stream are more into conference and events than they are into associations. Yeah. So can you explain to me and to the audience why conference and events is such a used thing for associations? How do they use events?
Well, it's always been one of their main deliverables to their members, to provide an arena for them to communicate and to learn from each other. And to train them. And for many associations, they typically have a big annual congress, which is often part of their funding as well. So they need the resource, the money, the surplus from their congresses to fund their operations. In many situations, that's what's happening.
Okay.
So, congresses, and then followed up by things like training courses and just smaller meetings throughout the year is key to how they have operated. Okay. And of course now they're all asking themselves, how is this going to be affected by virtual events, by online training? What about this hybrid thing? Isn't that dangerous? People going to watch from home instead of attending the conferences.
Yeah. What kind of comments do you hear, especially on that one? Because today's theme we could state that is hybrid events.
Well, it was yesterday as well. And we're starting this morning with quite a big session this morning on how to monetize virtual and hybrid events. And I spoke to people yesterday, and they are concerned that if they offer a hybrid part, then that's going to cannibalize the live event. And I just say to them, as I think everybody watching us now will agree, you sit there and you're looking at your screen and you're looking at, where we are and back from the party yesterday, able to physically interact with a lot of interesting people. And I think they're saying, if I have the money and the time, I'm going to be there next year. Which is going to be Portugal Estoril, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that was my scoop for today. Thank you, Elling.
So I say to them, you go hybrid, it will drive more participants to your live event. It's marketing.
Yep.
It's not cannibalizing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they take my word for it. But
that's a good link to a question I would like to ask to our online audience. If one of you is considering to get to Portugal, to Lisbon next year, please let us know. What is your opinion on this question? Is it, are you watching this and because you actually want to be here, or is it an additional thing for you? Please give your comments or share your thoughts through Twitter. The hashtag is ACIE12Live. So hashtag ACIE12Live. And please share your thoughts on this subject. Is this an extra for you, or do you actually want to be here, but because of the holidays or travel expenses you can't make it? What is your motivation to watch the live stream? We're very curious to hear, and we'll respond on that later as well. Elling, we asked you as well because you have two different roles here. You are, of course, chairing the conference and event stream, but you're also the managing director of the Event ROI Institute.
That's right.
And ROI is the Return on Investment Institute. Can you tell us what the relationship is between the ROI and hybrid? If there is any.
Yeah.
How do you see the...
Of course, there's the same relationship between ROI and hybrid as there is between ROI and live. There's no difference. In both cases, it's a question of how much value do you gain from spending the time and the money of attending. So,
okay.
That's what ROI is about. You come here, you spend 2 days away from the office not doing your job. You spend the money for travel and accommodation and the conference fee, but you've got to take something back that you can actually apply in your own organization. And when you do that, it's got to generate some extra revenue for your company, some extra profit for your company, which is a bigger sum of money than what it cost you to go here. That's the basic principle of ROI. So if you're watching live, you don't have that cost. You take your time away from your job. That's an investment. And then it's the question, what you get out of watching from home. Is that enough to make up for the time you spend? So the investment is much less when you're not physically present. So in a way, you require less value in return to have a positive ROI. So that's the basic principle. We evaluate this event. And we do that in several ways. After some of the sessions, we use voting pads, and we ask them 3 questions. And we don't just ask them, did you like this session, or did you enjoy this session? We ask them some very specific questions. The first question is, how comfortable would you feel now after attending this session to explain the topic, the subject, to a colleague? In other words, did you understand it? Did you learn it? Are you comfortable that now you know what the session was all about?
Can I just shortly interrupt you, because this the way you tell it, for me it's like myself, I evaluate if I have enough return on investment.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's the whole thing, Gertie. That's what it's all about.
Okay, but as an organizer, when I want to calculate my return on investment or my delegates' return on investment, how do I value their own personal evaluation related to the goals for me as an organizer, as a planner?
You see, the organizer, the owner of this Congress, they look for revenue from participants and sponsors in particular, and if their revenue is bigger than their cost, they have a positive ROI, and they know that. That's their budget, that's their account.
Okay.
And when it's all over, they know, did we make a profit or did we make a loss? But the thing is, they're not going to make a profit. They're not going to make a successful Congress unless each participant goes home, and then if you ask them a little while later and you say, well, you went to Liverpool, you learned something, did you apply it? And if you did it really contribute value to your organization? Did you have a positive ROI?
Yeah.
If the participants don't have a positive ROI, they're not going to come back, and they're not going to recommend anybody else to go back.
Yeah.
So
there are two different aspects, but they are related.
The organizers depend on every single participant to have a positive ROI and to be aware of that. I have a positive ROI.
And you are the managing director of the European ROI Institute.
Yeah.
Where are you based?
I'm not sure where I'm based. My family lives in Norway, but I don't
because I meet you everywhere.
Half my life is on traveling.
On traveling, okay.
So I'm based in airports and on airplanes and
okay.
in 12 different cities in Europe
Wow.
that I use regularly for.
All right. So what if I'm watching the live stream now and I'm interested in learning more about these ROI principles and how to apply them? Can I find something online? Do I have to get to Norway? How does this work?
On our website, you will find our main training in the ROI methodology, how to set the appropriate objectives, how to measure the results for any kind of event, not just a congress like this. And we run 2-day, what we call a foundation certificate training program. Mm-hmm. Starts with a 2-day course in 8 or 10 different European cities, the major capitals in Europe, 2 or 3 times a year in each of those.
In which languages are you?
It's mostly in English. English and Spanish. In Spain we do Spanish.
Okay.
In Scandinavia we do Norwegian or Danish, Swedish. But then in other countries it's English. Okay. But the point is, after 2 days of training, the participants have to apply what they've learned in a real live case. So in fact, we ask them to bring to the training an event which they're already planning or where they will have an involvement to allow them to measure the results. And then we coach them for as long as it takes, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months.
Really?
And we coach them until they've finished the evaluation. We check out their objectives, we check out the questionnaires, we make sure that all that is, as we taught them. And then at the end of that program, their certificate says they've attended the course and they've applied what they learned, so they know how to.
What does a course like that cost?
It's if you get the early bird, it's just over €1,000.
Okay.
For the training course and the coaching.
All right.
And
I just look a bit around because I see Damien Hutt. Damien, can you get in here? 1 second. Because I think you want to tell that we are starting off at the main stage. Okay. That was the idea. Okay, well, this is Damien Hutt. He is the Congress Director. He is very relaxed and he's full control of this Congress, as we all notice. That's very nice. Thank you. We'll stop here and good luck on stage. Okay, thank you. Sorry, this is the interruption, but we just want to tell you that there is a goodie bag, and there is you give a discount actually to the online audience. So if you're watching the stream, you get a discount if you do this training course.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream and you get the code in the goodie bag, and use that promotion code when you register, and it'll give you a 20% discount on the fee.
Wow,
which
that's
is
great.
A couple of €100.
Yeah, that's great. And a lot of return on investment for watching the live stream.
Absolutely.
So, thank you very much so far. The goodie bag is on the page. And we'll see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tak skal du have. Nå.